We are live, Your Honor.
Thank you. Good evening. The meeting of the City Council will come to order. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. For those participating via Zoom, when we get to the item that you want to speak on, please use the raise your hand feature, and the city clerk will turn on your microphone to speak at the appropriate time. Let the record show that all council members are present this evening. The first item on the agenda is presentations, and I'd like to ask Community Preservation Manager Oscar Carrillo to join me at the podium. This is always one of our most enjoyable parts of the council meeting when we have an opportunity to introduce new employees. And this is really a special occasion for me because, as many of you know, my career was with San Jose in the Code Enforcement Department division, and we are here to announce the hiring and recognition of our new City Community Development Director, Mr. Carrillo. Oscar Carrillo joined the City Communication Development Division in August after 17 years of service with the city of San Jose. Oscar is a first-generation Mexican-American, born and raised in Sunnyvale. Growing up, he was always drawing and painting, and after graduating from Homestead High School, he went to UC Santa Cruz, where he got his bachelor's degree in art. Putting his art degree to its best use, Oscar joined the city of San Jose in 2006 as a parking compliance officer before joining the Code Enforcement Division in 2012. As an inspector, he served in the General Code program before he was promoted to supervisor in 2016. In 2020, he was promoted to division manager and oversaw a team of 4 supervisors and 35 inspectors within various code enforcement programs. During COVID-19, Oscar served as the compliance branch director of the Emergency Operations Center for nearly a year, providing critical leadership, decision-making, and implementing strategies to safeguard the most severely impacted communities. A Hayward resident, Oscar is happy to cut down his time spent on Interstate 880, but also excited to share his expertise, insights, and experience with the staff and residents of Newark to help preserve a safe, clean, and attractive community for everyone. Outside of work, Oscar enjoys a good steak dinner, IPAs, movies, music, and creating art. Let's hear it for our new community service manager. The next item is we're going to proclaim October as Cybersecurity Awareness Month. I'd like to ask the director of our IT department, Mr. Ed Miranda, to join me with his staff, please. Sad to say, but Sheena and I have become really close over my short tenure as mayor with all the IT issues I've had to deal with in my office. Ed and his staff have been completely responsive, and I certainly appreciate that. So we are going to proclaim this Cybersecurity Awareness Month, whereas the city of Newark recognizes it as a vital role in identifying, protecting, and responding to cyber threats that may have a significant impact on our residents and collective security and privacy. Whereas individuals, businesses, nonprofits, government organizations, academic institutions, and the local economy has become increasingly reliant on information systems and technology to conduct business, engage in commerce, access information, communication, and provide essential services. And whereas cyber threats continue to increase and the impact of cyber attacks has been debilitating to individuals and organizations, whereas a whole community effort is necessary to ensure that all residents of Newark have the skills and opportunity to benefit from digital citizenship. And whereas Cybersecurity Awareness Month was launched by the National Cybersecurity Alliance and the U.S. Department of Homeland Security in October of 2004, and is now recognized by thousands of organizations, including the federal government, the Multi-State Information Sharing and Analysis Center, and the National Association of State Chief Information Officers. Whereas the City of Newark will promote innovation, strengthen cybersecurity, investment, and enhance resilience across all sectors. Now, therefore, I, Michael Hannon, Mayor of the City of Newark, on behalf of my colleagues on the City Council, proclaim October 2023 as Cybersecurity Awareness Month in Newark, and call upon all citizens, residents, and visitors of Newark to become educated about cybersecurity and that knowledge, and put that into practice and keep our community safe from cyber threats. And this is so important because, you know, we recall last month we recognize seniors in our community and those that are most vulnerable in our community, not only our businesses and our nonprofits, but a lot of times our seniors. So we need to make sure that we provide all the assistance that we can to ensure that we get the information out to our community as to how they can protect and preserve themselves as they deal with these threats. So it's my pleasure to present this to the Director of our IT department, Mr. Ed Miranda.
Thank you so much, Mayor. Ed? Thank you very much. And it's clear that we do want to bring awareness of cybersecurity threats to all residents of Newark. With me today, I have my management staff of Peter Fong and Sheena Raj. They've been doing an incredible job. We first took the first 3 months in staffing our department, and the results were wonderful. For the first 6 months, we took steps to really secure the city's cybersecurity, and now we're actually in the process of educating. So in the next few weeks, we will have an education campaign to teach what cybersecurity is and why it's so important to protect everyone. And the theme for this year's Cybersecurity Awareness Month is Secure Your World, which is applicable to all. Thank you, and have a good evening, everyone.
Public comment. The next item is public comment, and this is the opportunity for any member of the public to speak on an item not on the agenda this evening. For Zoom attendees, please use the raise your hand feature if you would like to speak. Ms. Harrington, are there any requests to speak online?
We do have one request, Your Honor, online.
One request? Mm-hmm. Okay, go ahead, open up for that one speaker, please.
Speaker, you've been unmuted. Please start.
Hello, good evening. This is Milind. Nice to see everyone. Sorry I couldn't be there in person. I'll hope to be there next time. Sorry, just a second. I can't see you guys anymore. Yes. Perhaps we could pin the video. Okay, anyway, I'll just go. Yeah, thanks everyone, and congratulations to the new community manager. I have attended one of the meetings a few months ago, and this was about planting trees on Newark Boulevard. And I got in touch with the city clerk, who then, during this city hall meeting, I was asked to get in touch with the city clerk, who then redirected me to the people who were in charge of this for the city. And I think the overarching message that I received was the bottle. Of course, everyone wants to plant more trees, and everyone understands the benefits, and everyone knows the importance of trees, especially in the city of Newark. But the bottleneck, it seems, comes down to allocating the right amount of budget, either to buy a new water tanker or to install water pipelines in the medians. And so I think, from what I understand, that seems to be the bottleneck. And so I'd like to know what is it that we as citizens of the city can do in order to get this agenda on board and allocate budget for this issue, which I think has probably unanimous support from the citizens of Newark.
Thank you for your comments, greatly appreciated. Is there anyone in the audience that would like to speak in public comments? Yes, please come forward.
Hello.
Hi, my name is
Please proceed.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Noelle Dute. My husband Tony and I have lived here happily for 45 years. Just have a couple of thoughts I wanted to share with you this evening. First of all, great applause to the architect and the planning committee that designed the repurposing of the stunning glass historical panels on each of the three buildings. That was a big concern during demolition as to how they were going to be used. During the ribbon cutting ceremony, I had the occasion to speak with former Mayor Dave Smith, and he expressed a really great idea of a way to somehow backlight those panels so that in the evenings, they would also be as stunning as they are in the daytime. And I would really support that idea. My understanding, and I may be mistaken, is that the city has been given some kind of an arts use grant. I don't know whether that money has been spent. I did send an email to the acting committee, did not get a response. I would like to say that when I am driving in the city of Fremont, and I know I've spoken with Ms. Susie about this, it is so beautiful to see the power boxes that have been painted, each one different in the city of Fremont, depicting sometimes history, sometimes other self-expression. I would love to see such a series of projects happen here in Newark. It just enhances the city. It's win-win. I would love to see students, perhaps from Newark Memorial, being given the opportunity to create some of these mini murals and beautify Army green boxes and make it more interesting and perhaps depict more of the history of Newark. The last thing, I don't want to be a downer, but the last thing is Tony and I had occasion last week to walk around the Newark Lake, which has long been a gem for the city of Newark. It was devastating. I don't know what's going on, and I haven't seen anything in newsletters or in any face-to-face chatter. So much of the grass has died. The weeds are tall. I don't know what's going on, but I'm hoping that it can be addressed and that perhaps a little more attention can be given to what has always been such a soothing and beautiful place in which to spend time for our citizens. So I thank you very much for your time.
And I thank you for your positive comments. Mr. Benoon, any comments?
Sure. Just to remind everybody, we are precluded from by state law from having a substantive discussion on any item not listed on the agenda. Just a couple of things. Returning to the first speaker who appeared via Zoom, happy to follow up with that speaker and advise him as to where we're at with our plans for additional tree plantings in our community. I know staff's been actively working on that. In regards to Ms. Dute's comments, a few things. An interesting idea about backlighting the art. I think that's, nobody would disagree with that. I'd be happy to talk with our public works staff about that. As far as the art concept, the city does have approximately $2 million in public art impact fees that we've accumulated over time. And we're going through a planning process to figure out how to expend those $2 million to provide art in public places throughout our community. The painting of the electrical boxes is a high priority in that plan. We hope to have that plan brought back to the council. We went through an extensive community solicitation input process, and we hope to have that draft plan presented to the council at an upcoming council meeting. If not in the month of October, then November. As far as an email that wasn't returned, be happy to talk to her and see where that email was sent. And then as far as the lake, I don't have any updates on that front. I have a conflict of interest. I just know that staff is addressing the myriad of issues there, and that there are plans that's currently provided in the CIP for enhanced landscaping. I don't know if Ms. Vorka has anything to add. If not, we can be happy to follow up with Ms. Duke after this meeting.
And if not, any further updates, certainly we've taken your comments regarding the condition of the weeds and things of that nature. We'll certainly have staff taking a look at that, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Benoon. Thank you. Any other public speakers on items that are not on the agenda this evening? Seeing none, I'm going to go ahead and close public comment. We'll move to the consent calendar. The consent calendar consists of items D1 through D7. Are there any items that staff would like pulled from the consent calendar, Mr. Benoon?
Not this evening, Your Honor.
Are there any items the public would like pulled from the consent calendar for discussion? Ms. Harrington, is there anybody online who would like to pull an item on the consent calendar?
Mr. Patel has raised his hand again. I believe he wants to speak under public comment again.
Let's give Mr. Patel a couple more minutes. He didn't use his full 5 minutes. Let's give him a couple minutes just to go ahead and finish up, and because he may not have had an opportunity, so we'll give him 2 more minutes.
Okay.
Hello, yeah, thank you. Sorry, it's difficult to communicate via Zoom, as I'm sure all of us know. There was another thing that I wanted to bring to notice, but the same topic. So I understand that the medians between Roshan and Dairy Avenue, there hasn't been water in those medians for more than 20 years, from what I understand, which would then also mean that probably there haven't been new trees planted on those medians for a very long time. And I just wanted to bring that number up. One, to check whether that is correct. And two, if it is correct, it's kind of disappointing that we haven't had new trees being planted on such an important part of our city. But each part is, of course, equally important. But Newark Boulevard especially leads to the City Hall. And I think that would be we should have more trees on Newark Boulevard.
Thank you, Mr. Patel. I think Mr. Benoon has your comments, and we'll certainly follow up with you on those comments. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. I'll email the city clerk with my email ID, and hopefully I should be able to redirect. Thank you very much.
Perfect. Thank you. Is there anyone else on Zoom that would like to pull an item from the consent calendar, Ms. Harrington?
Your Honor, we have 2 more public speakers.
Okay, we've closed public comments, so if what I'm going to do, Mr. Benoon, is I'm going to come back to public comment after we're done with the council business for those public speakers that would like to speak. Would that be reasonable?
What is I guess the point of clarification is public comment closed at this point going
I had closed
forward?
public comment.
Okay, so you're asking if the members of the public would like to pull an item off the consent calendar, and we
That's
can
right, but
we
it
can
sounds
address those items at the end of the meeting? That would be
Right,
fine.
but it sounds
Ron.
like these are public comments on items not on the agenda, Ms. Harrington. Is that what I understand?
Well, we have 2 hands raised at the moment. I couldn't specify for which item.
Okay.
Well, I think public comment is closed, Your Honor. I would recommend that we continue with the consent calendar as presented, and then returning back to anybody who would want to pull an item off the consent calendar at that time.
Okay. For those that are online waiting to speak under public comment, I will come back at the end of the agenda. And because we've already opened and closed public comment, I'm only going to allow 1 minute for those public comments. So again, the consent calendar, is there anyone online that wants to pull an item off the consent calendar, Ms. Harrington? Or it's hard to tell?
It's hard to tell, Your Honor. The
Okay.
hands were raised before.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and continue with the consent calendar. Is there any item that the council would like to pull off the consent calendar? Okay, seeing none, the consent calendar consists of the following items. 1, the approval of the audited demands. 2, the approval of the September 14, 2023 minutes. 3, adopt a resolution authorizing an amendment and future amendments to the contractual services agreement with Sedgwick Claims Management Services. 4, adopt a resolution authorizing the acceptance of the Select Program STEP grant and the Traffic Records Improvement Project TRIP grant through the State of California Office of Traffic Safety and amending the 2022-2024 biennial budget. 5, adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute a contractual services agreement with CSW Stuber, Stroh, Engineering Group for Professional Design Services for Old Town Streetscape Improvement Project 1258, and to amend the 2022-2024 biennial budget for fiscal year 2024. 6, adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute task order number 28 to the joint powers agreement with the city of Fremont for case management services. Who timed me out? I was going at a pretty good pace there, I thought. 7, adopt a resolution authorizing the city manager to execute task order number 29 to the joint powers agreement with the city of Fremont for paratransit services. Would someone like to move the items to be approved as recommended by staff, with any items approved by resolution or ordinance being numbered consecutively, and that the reading of the title suffice for purposes of introduction or adoption of the ordinance?
So moved.
Moved by Councilmember Jorgens, second by Councilmember Freitas. Please vote. You know, we get three bites of the apple, and much debate. It passed 5 ayes. Hearings nor other business this evening, so we're going to go to city council matters, and I'll start with my colleague, Councilmember Bucci.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. A couple things real quick, completely unrelated to anything we heard earlier. I believe that when we started down the path of our public arts plan, that we also had an intention to have a citizens advisory committee of some sort. Is that accurate?
That will be a part of the plan. There will be a recommendation that some sort of entity be created to oversee the implementation of art throughout the city.
Okay, perfect. And then, you know, I just wanted to give a shout out to the Newark Days Committee, who kicked off the Newark Day celebration at our last meeting, and they didn't all get to attend the meeting, but, you know, just a special acknowledgement to Lori Gratz, who took over as president this year. And I can tell you in my lifetime, the only president that ever ran Newark Days was Shirley Sisk. So, you know, Lori had some big shoes to fill, and I think she did an excellent job. It was one of the best weekends I remember in a long time. The music was great. There was a lot of new activities out there, including the balance bike track for the littles. So just a huge thank you to all the volunteers at the Newark Days Committee who did a great job, and just a special shout out to Miss Lori Gratz. Thank you.
Councilmember Jorgens.
Thank you. I'm sure our community has noticed something that I've been really excited about, and that's the protected bike lanes on Cherry Avenue and Cherry Street and Newark Boulevard that have gone up over the last 2 weeks or so. And this is a result of a lot of hard work by a lot of people, and it's going to be a huge benefit for all travelers on those streets. And just want to let our community know that we're in the stages of putting together our new active transportation plan. So we're going to be looking at streetscapes throughout the city and how we can make things better, and ways that we've started already. So how we can improve on that, and just want to make sure that our community takes advantage of that, so that plan can be reflective of what Newark needs.
Thank you, Councilmember Jorgens. Councilmember Freitas.
Yeah, thank you, Alan. I'd like to congratulate the Newark Days Committee, especially under the new leadership of Larry Gratz. It was a wonderful parade and was very well attended, and the weather was so good. And so for all that, I believe they will come in before us, one of those future meetings, but I'd like to echo the congratulations to them. And also tonight, I had the pleasure to attend I know you and the Vice Mayor were speaking, but I attended the the graduation of the Newark Promotoras was a wonderful ceremony to attend, and well, I'll let you, the mayor and the vice mayor, to speak on that, but thank you for the invitation to be there tonight. Thank you. Thank you.
Vice Mayor Collazo.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a few things this evening. First of all, I want to talk about the cybersecurity. So I was receiving these emails, and it said, you need to take this test, and I would delete it. I'd look at the address, and I didn't recognize the address, and I kept hitting delete, and then it'd show up 2 days later, and I delete. I said, somebody's trying to get into my computer, delete, delete. Finally, I ran into Ed Miranda, and he says, Susie, you haven't taken your test. I said, it did not look, it did not look like a city hall address on there. I kept hitting delete. So I passed the test, let me tell you. But I kept hitting that delete, and not until I knew it was something that I needed to do, right? Delete, delete, delete. So the other thing is that tonight we attended the Promotora's graduation, and it was a wonderful event. So I want to tell you that tonight, as we celebrate Latin Heritage Month, I'm so proud to be an advocate for the Promotoras. The Promotoras are information advocates that work directly with our community. They have been serving the community in a common language and culture that makes the residents feel safer. Promotoras are on a mission. Armed with flyers and information, they take to the streets and connect directly to our residents, going door to door to make sure that our community is empowered and very well informed. Our promotoras are full of positive energy. They are healthcare advocates who work one-on-one with local families, creating a sense of trust. These promotoras were out educating people about COVID and the importance of getting vaccinated. They also work tirelessly to get people registered in our census in 2020. The concept of this program goes back to the 1950s in Latin America, where promotoras were used to bring healthcare to the poor communities. Here in the United States, they were prevalent in helping with the HIV/AIDS prevention programs. Since they've been used as messengers to help educate the community on cancer, diabetes, nutrition, and mental health, making our community healthier and more educated. And so congratulations to all of the graduates. Thank you to all the members of the city that have helped make this program come true. And I look to many more graduations. It's just fantastic watching these women flourish in our society. And what's good for them is good for us, and it makes our city a better place. Thank you.
You're welcome. I had the pleasure of attending the Promotoras graduation as well, and we've empowered women in our community that maybe didn't believe individually or collectively that they had a voice. They now realize they have a voice in this community, one that is heard, one that takes their issues seriously, and one that's here to ensure that we create an environment that's safe for themselves, their families, their neighborhoods. And the networking that goes on as part of this Promotoras program is immeasurable. Each one of them is going to touch someone else in the community that says, you know what? I now know who to call in the city, or I know now that I have a voice that is going to be heard. And these are real strong women of all ages. And what an exciting day for the city of Newark to participate. So I was proud to be there today. Their families were proud of them, and I look forward to future graduations. I also want to thank Lori with the Newark Days. What a tremendous day to celebrate our 68th birthday. It's great to see the community come out and rally around our community, recognizing how important we are to them and their families, and to celebrate. And I was out there on a couple of the evenings. It seems like things went well. And I know we'll probably get a report later that hopefully confirms that. On a lighter note, I had the chance for the first time to lead bingo at the senior center. Now that is an experience. Don't mess with seniors when it comes to calling bingos. Make sure you don't call numbers too fast. Make sure, and God forbid, don't call I-32 and then have someone say, well, that's really an N-32. They're gracious, they were welcoming. We have some real great seniors. And again, hands off to our Parks and Recreation staff for all the services they provide to our seniors. They're a happy group of individuals. They enjoy each other's company. And these are folks that have long time called Newark home, and we're happy to provide them with those services. Mr. Benoon, I'm sorry, did we end your comments with? Oh, I don't want to say it.
Shop Newark?
There you go. Mr. Benoon, any final comments?
Yes, Your Honor, I do have a few things. We do have some exciting events coming up. First, we have a free document shredding event coming up on Saturday, October 7th from 9 a.m. to noon over at our service center located on Filbert Street. This is a no-cost document shredding event limited to Newark residents. They can show up with 2 banker's boxes filled with documents, and we will shred them for our residents. Appointments are required. We have 110 signed up to date, and we have availability for more. 2 weeks after that, we have a community cleanup event, also located at the service center on Filbert Street. Newark residents can drop off bulky items, and they will be trashed, and that's Saturday, October 21st from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. Appointments are required, and we have 60 folks registered to date, and we anticipate getting some more in the next few weeks. On the community development front, we have a workshop hosted by one of our interns, Ms. Naz Jalalidian. I apologize for wildly butchering your surname. This is an event for our community members to learn how to start their own business. So our chief building official will be there to cover regulations and permits. We also have a small business advisor. This will be catered to our Spanish-speaking community, so we're working closely with our promotora staff. That's on Friday, October 20th from 9 to 11 a.m. at our Silliman Center. October 4th through 12th is Manufacturing Week here in the city of Newark. Our economic development staff is working with our regional partners and attending events throughout high schools in Newark, the Memorial High School, Crossroads, and Bridgepoint. They're hosting workshops in collaboration with our local manufacturers. And then later throughout the week at night, the manufacturers are opening up their businesses so that Newark families can come in and see what that's all about. So it's a great partnership, and I thank our economic development staff and our school district for partnering with us. Continuing with the planning front, SAHA, that's the Satellite Affordable Housing Associates folks, they have an open house about their project over on Thornton Avenue. If the council may recall, council allocated $12 million in affordable housing funds towards this project. The developer still has to go through the entitlement process. They're holding a community meeting via Zoom on Wednesday, October 11th at 6:30 p.m. Returning to our IT department, I am more than pleased to announce that at the annual Municipal Information Systems Association of California, known as MESAC, they held their annual conference last week, and our very own IT department was awarded its first ever MESAC Quality IT Practices Award. 11 public agencies throughout the state were given this award, and I am particularly proud that our IT department, in its nascent stage, it's only been around for really a year, and has been able to meet these well-established metrics. So I'm very proud of the work that they've done. Over to our police department on October 11th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. Our police department will be hosting its third Faith and Blue celebration. This is something that started 3 years ago on a nationwide basis and has really been expanding the past few years. The initiative is based on the premise that strong communities are built on mutual respect and understanding. Law enforcement and faith institutions are key pillars of each community, and when they work together, neighborhoods thrive. So this event will be held at the Police Department's Community Training Room. That is on October 11th from 6:30 to 8 p.m. We encourage members of the public to attend, provide positive conversations, tour the police facility. More than happy to meet with our community. And then last but not least, I would be remiss if I failed to mention that our facilities master plan survey and parks master plan survey are still out. They're available on the city's website, and we encourage the public to participate. So quite a lengthy report. I'll be more brief in the future.
Do me a favor, Mr. Benoon, would you make sure on the manufacturing night, as they have open houses and things of that nature, that the council's aware of where those may be occurring, so we have an opportunity to attend those as well? Any other comments on the city manager's comments? Vice Mayor?
Not on the city managers, but I forgot to add something to my city council matters.
Yes, ma'am.
If you are not busy on Thursday, October 5th, on Channel 9, I believe it's about 7 o'clock, on Check Please, Mexico Tortilla Factory is going to be on there. And they started it last year at Dia de los Muertos in October. And so they planned it so that it's going to be right before this other event. So it's going to be on October 5th on Channel 9. Check your remote to see what time. I think it's like 7 o'clock, 5 o'clock. So I forgot to do that. And so shop Newark.
Outstanding. Thank you. And before I close, Ms. Harrington, we had two members of the public that wanted to speak on items that were not on the agenda. Let's go ahead and call them in one at a time, and they have 1 minute.
Yes, sir. First speaker, please proceed. First speaker, please proceed.
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Yeah, I wanted to bring up the, was it Mexican Heritage Month or whatever you guys called it? Spanish Heritage Month? I'm just wondering why isn't there a European American Heritage Month, you know, for like the white people that founded this country? Or, you know, Christian American Heritage? Because they were gonna have one in El Dorado, but a bunch of Jews got mad about it and they shut it down. So I'm just wondering, are you guys gonna cave to the Jews if you decided that you wanted to pass a European American Heritage Month?
Is that minute almost done?
Oh, the beaner thinks that's funny. Fuck niggers, fuck Jews, hail Hitler, white fucking power.
Ms. Harrington, next speaker. You have one minute.
Next speaker.
Hello, are you guys able to hear me?
We can hear you.
Perfect. My name is Sadie Edward. And in honor of Monday and Sunday being Yom Kippur and last weekend being Rosh Hashanah, just to educate the community, I would like to read some scripture from the Talmud. All right, and let's start here with Gittin 57a. Jesus is in hell being boiled in hot excrement. And let's go to Baba Kama 113a. Jews may use lies or subterfuges to circumvent the non-Jews. That's all of us, all of you, the Goyim. And let's go to Sanhedrin 57a. What a Jew steals from a non-Jew, he may keep. Sanhedrin 58b. If a non-Jew hits a Jew, he must be killed. All right, and let's go to Jalkat Rubanai Gadal 12b. The souls of non-Jews come from impure spirits and are called pigs. Yalkut 245c. Extermination of the Christians.
Thank you, Ms. Harrington. Any other public speakers? I think we just had the two, yes?
We had the two at the beginning.
Thank you. So we're going to go ahead and close public comments. I recognize that some members of the community that are watching and those that are here in the audience may be asking why the city council
Do I not have
allowed.
the First Amendment right to free speech? This is a religious article. I'm reading from the Talmud,
Can
my
we turn
holy
off
book.
the Zoom?
I believe that.
Fuck you, nigger. White power, nigger.
Fuck you, white power. Fuck niggers. Fuck kites. Gas them all.
We're done.
I recognize that some members of the community that are watching and those that are here in the audience may be asking why the city council allowed the prior speakers to make their comments. The First Amendment provides that the city council cannot choose to allow or deny speech, no matter how reprehensible, except under very limited circumstances which are not present here. Thus, while those prior speakers had the constitutional right to make their comments, I want to make it.
Baby penis. Jews suck baby dick. What is going on? Mizitza bapa. Jews suck their babies.
Yeah.
I shut it off.
Okay, thank you. I want to make it clear that those comments in no way reflect the values of this city council or this community. We are an inclusive city and we will not allow anonymous speakers to divide us or create separation among us. We are a welcoming community in the city of Newark. And we saw an example of that tonight when we attended the graduation of the promotores. Folks in our community that probably felt that they didn't have power, who now realize that their voices are strong, individually and collectively, that they will be heard. What makes this country great is that we do have a First Amendment, that we do allow people to speak. There aren't many other countries in the world that would allow that type of speech to go on without some repercussions. But that's not the country that we were founded on. We were founded on the notion of freedom of speech, freedom of religion, freedom of the press. We're entitled to these rights because we've earned them. So I just want to make it real clear, as reprehensible as those comments were, and I know my colleagues share in that sentiment, we in this great country of ours will let those folks be heard. By hearing them, we in no way acquiesce to their comments. We in no way agree to their comments, but this country is great and it was founded on the notion of freedom of speech. So I thank you for staying, listening, and recognizing that our constitutional rights here in Newark are always going to be upheld. Further comments by my colleagues? Councilmember Bucci.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just real quick for the people here and people from Newark. This actually isn't new to us. We have unfortunately run into this in the past, and we've had people come in and yell Nazi slogans and anti-Semitic things in the past in an effort to get us to either remove them or shut down their speech, and then they successfully have sued other agencies for the same thing. So it is the lowest level of cowardly hustle possible. And they will, this week they have targeted a number of Bay Area city councils during meetings and have really pushed the envelope trying to get kicked out so that they can turn around and sue us. And it's nothing more than a low-level hustle than cowards. If they weren't cowards, they would be here standing at that microphone telling us to our faces and saying it out loud for all of us to see instead of hiding behind a computer screen. So as in the past, you know, we have overcome this low-level hustle of these cowards, and we will do the same here. So I'm sorry we had to go through that, but Newark is no stranger to this, and we will prevail again. So thank you.
Vice Mayor Collazo.
Thank you, Your Honor. I've been in Newark for 51 years. I think this is the second or third time that I've been attacked by words. But I'm going to tell you, Newark is a welcoming city, and everyone is welcome here. We have open hearts to let everyone in. Our citizens are full of volunteerism. That means that they are willing to help others. And in order to help others, that means you love other people. I know a person must love themselves first before they can love somebody else. I don't hide behind a fake name or a computer to say something, but for these people, I forgive them, for I know they don't know how to receive love and they don't know how to give love. So with that.
That adjourns our council meeting. Thank you, Ms. Harrington.